Hello, welcome to another unboxing. This time, Doctor Who The Collection Season 2. Been waiting a long time for this one. And some people have said about the artwork on the face that it doesn't look like him, but I've seen the picture and sometimes he does pull these expressions and it does look like the picture, but it is an odd one. So it's not a classic look of old Hartnell there, but there we go. But it's a beautiful colouring on this one. This one's really nice. And it's so nice to have one from the original Doctor. I ordered this ages ago. Anyways, let's just talk about what we're going to do here. My style is just opening it and having a look. If you want to know about the actual episodes themselves, there's plenty of YouTubers out there that do really good jobs at this. So I'm not even going to... I might mention a few things, but it's really about looking at this and also comparing it to the DVDs that it replaces. Okay, so let's crack on. I've already taken the paper off. Yep, 10:30 this morning. The Amazon van appeared, and after a very long wait, here it is. So let's have a look at the back. You may wish to pause and have a quick read of that. And it's the whole series, the whole season. I think there's one or two that are still missing, and unfortunately they're not animating them, which is a bit of a shame. But, you know, I'm buying it again. I've already got them, and of course it might be questionable about how much better they can get it from these to this. I mean, just because it's on Blu-ray doesn't mean it's going to be any better. But one of the advantages of Blu-ray, of course, is the amount of space on each disc compared to a DVD. So it is nice to have the more compact. Well, yeah, takes up about half the space. No big deal really, is it? Right, so let's have a look at what's inside. Now I'm going to have to do this all in one take today because I have computer problems. So I won't be able to cut when I normally move things. So it's going to be a little bit more amateur than my usual ones. But I had to do it. I thought, shall I do it? I think it's my graphics card that's on the way out. I've got a 1080 Ti Aorus, and it keeps screen going black, fan spinning up, so I think it is. Although I had to reseat the RAM yesterday just to get the computer to start. So that's why I'm doing this in one take, so I'm not going to put any titles or anything, and just try and just upload this straight up to YouTube and hope that it doesn't crash while I'm uploading it. So, oh, let's just talk about, look at this. I can't believe I wasn't going to say anything. Oh dear, I've got a bit of, I don't know what I've done already. The artwork is fantastic. Makes you wish they were in black and white, really, doesn't it? But there's something about the atmosphere as well about watching black and white. Really nice, isn't it? I love all these turquoise, greens, blues. Really nice. And a few of the foes there. Come on, Zarby. It's really nice, this Zarby. Chase. There's a few good ones here. Right, let's have a look at the... Oh, nice pictures as well. Nice pictures. Dalek Invasion. So we've got a blue and slight green tint on these. Very nice. Than just having black and white, isn't it? Like the blue tint. Really nice. God, they're lovely. Did you see him recently in the last Doctor Who? Age 90. That was nice to see him, wasn't it? Wow. The Romans, of course, that's when they were trying to make it historical, weren't they? And I guess someone in the BBC said, oh, we ought to inform the children of past events. It wasn't a bad idea, actually. As long as you're accurate about it. The Web Planet. I really like the Web Planet because it's early sci-fi on the BBC. I mean, you know, this is the early 60s. It started to experiment more. You know, there wasn't much sci-fi. I guess Star Trek was just about to appear. Not much else was there out there. Forbidden Planet, of course, the film had been. It was Lost in Space. Then, of course, a Time Tunnel. There's a few. But like they were experimenting, and this really comes across as like a stage play. So I think it was filmed in Lyme Grove, where you had that big sort of stage. And there's one woman dressed up as this bee type thing. I can't think what it's called. And she just goes, "Come along, Zarby, come along." It's like a little pet ant coming along. In fact, the Zarby costume is fantastic. But yeah, it was. This is why I like some of the not some, most of the old Doctor Who, is because they have great actors or Shakespearean actors in. You know, when you go to see a play, you're not that worried about the backdrop. It's the acting. You want to get drawn into their characters and forget everything. And you get a bit of that with some of the older Doctor Who. So if you like going to see plays, you probably watch the... If you like going to see plays, watch The Web Planet first. The Crusade. Of course, new companion. And of course, she was back on the sort of promo for this, which is probably on here, which I thought was wonderful. Talking about Daleks to her granddaughter. This is really nice, really nice. Interesting, it's PG when it would have been on BBC One at about sort of, I don't know, about 5 o'clock in the evening. So you just plop the children in front. The chase, that again, it's a really odd one. It's just a load of Daleks and Sensorite machines and mechanoids and just going through various sets at high speed. There's about 5 sets they're just rushing through. It's such a strange one. But I've got to say, that set, there's like a spooky set. Is they got a Frankenstein in it as well? I haven't seen it for a while. It's going to be nice to watch them again. And the set has got so much atmosphere. I mean, they could have made a wonderful horror film with it. It's just oozing atmosphere. These like steps going up either side. It's like an old mansion house, but really spooky looking in the old sort of grainy black and white as well. And then suddenly a Dalek rushes across, followed by something else. It's like wacky races. It's quite hilarious, really. The amount of just scenes of things rushing through. But of course, great fun. A Time Meddler, of course. No, I'm getting confused with the Celestial Toy Maker, aren't I? Was going to be in Colin Baker, but yeah, no, it's a different one. Wasn't he the guy in the Carry On films, the Time Meddler? We had been in them. Oh dear. Looks a bit like a plant. It looks like you need a flower pot at the bottom there, and the leaves are coming out here as well. Or was that a solar array to get energy? Oh, I don't like that much. No, it doesn't look like him. They could have done, really, they could have done a better job with his likeness, couldn't they? But never mind. We still know who it is. Who is it? Doctor Who. I mean, let's just take a photo. No, actually, no, if you look at that doesn't... Sometimes it doesn't look like him, does it, when he pulls certain expressions? And I think that's what they've done. They've gone for stills where he's pulling a face. Do you reckon that Yoda was based on William Hartnell's Doctor? Other than the speaking, Doctor, I was. He has the same sort of expressions. I wonder if Frank Oz saw the original Doctor Who, and it sort of sunk in when he was puppeteering Yoda. It really does remind me of Yoda. Anyone else ever made that connection? Right, so quick look. Really nice photos, lovely presentation. And we've got quite an atmospheric picture here. It's not in the yard anymore, is it? We've moved on. Forbidden to Dump Bodies, and there's Dalek episode, isn't it? They actually had this makeup with this one at the Doctor Who exhibition in Cardiff many years ago now as well. That was brilliant. That was. Look at this. Peter Purvis, pre-Blue Peter, the original companions. His granddaughter's still there. There's the Zarby. There they are. I think they're really nice. I had that annual when I was a child. The Doctor Who annual that had them on the front. And it was really annoying because, you know, you didn't get repeats. We didn't have videos back then in the 70s. So I had this annual, and it was just like a wind-up because you could see all these monsters and things in there, and you couldn't actually watch the episodes. So we're so lucky now. I mean, you could probably think, oh, I haven't seen this, Web Planet Zarby. Put Zarby Web Planet onto YouTube and you'll find a clip of it, won't you? You'll be able to see it straight away. Oh, here we go, a little advert first. He even looks a bit like Yoda, doesn't he? Now see, that looks like him there. And so does that one. They're better on the advert than it is on the front of the box, but should have had something like that on the front of the box, shouldn't they? Do you remember on the pilot of the very first episode? He was very gruff and quite sort of William Hartnell-ish, like his Sergeant Major characters. And then after the pilot, when they redid the episode, they softened him down. He wasn't quite as abrupt. It's quite interesting to see the pilot of An Earthly Child and the actual episode, how different it is. And they took a lot of the special effects out, like when in sound-wise, I'm talking about when they go into the TARDIS. The first time, there's lots and lots of sound effects, and they winded all those back for the actual episode. Oh, that's another season, which hopefully one day we'll be sat here doing it with that season as well. So it's adverts for all the different types of Doctor Who things you can get. There's so much out there now, and there was so little out there when I was growing up. I mean, I can remember when the first videos came out, just getting Genesis of the Daleks, and just couldn't believe that I could watch it whenever I wanted, you know? It was great. First Doctor. Forbidden Planet, available to order online. Oh, it's just a cup, isn't it? In stock now! Quick, get it before it disappears. Well, there we are. I'll keep that in there. So what have we got in there? Oh, I don't know about that one so much. A lot of space with nothing in it. It reminds me of those old reflector fires in the 1950s. I reckon that's what they based it on. You know, the elements in the middle. You used to be able to get a round one like that. Yeah, could have taken a better angle. I always like it when you see the TARDIS with these discs and not the rest of it. And I didn't like that either, when they sort of had that sort of in the top of the shot like that and then the TARDIS back here. I much prefer it when they do it like in the Tom Baker era with just this and this. That's all you need really in the door, to be like the control room and a TV or a monitor or something without all this stuff. So it was a bit like an antique shop, wasn't it, in the first season? So yeah, that it's all right, but that's my least favourite inner drawing out of all the ones I've done so far. Okay, right, let's see what we've got here. So I'm going to have a quick look through, I'm going to hold each page up, and you may wish to pause, this is in 4K, and have a read if you don't get the collection and you just opt for the standard issue that it probably won't have this little booklet in it. That's why I'm doing this. They're always so good, these booklets, though. I think I'd always go for the collection rather than the thinner Blu-ray that normally comes out a bit later on. Quick scan of these. I really liked William Hartnell's Doctor. Of course, I didn't have the pleasure of seeing it until I was a bit older, because, like I was saying, they hardly ever showed this sort of thing as reruns. And it wasn't really until you got something like UK Gold in the 90s that were showing Doctor Who every Sunday. I used to love it. I used to go raving on a Saturday night. I used to really look forward to chilling out and watching Doctor Who, so I used to record it. I think it was on a Sunday morning. And when I got up in the afternoon, watching a whole Doctor Who episodes. I think they went from, I think it was just from John Pertwee onwards, I think. But for me, it was, I hadn't seen many of the Tom Baker ones because I absolutely was annoyed that my Doctor had disappeared when I was little. John Pertwee went. This is a great costume, this one, by the way. Really, really nice. Of course, it had no movement, so it was just a mask. So as the episode progresses, you see it's just a bloke with a mask on. But in the stills and some of the side views, it's really, really nice, that one. So very creative people out there working with a very small budget, making a programme that would only be seen once, or so they thought, but wasn't the case, was it? Here we are talking about it all these years later. That's a nice photo, isn't it? Yeah, they do take some nice care and things, but I just wish, I mean, in an ideal world, I wish they would redo them all in 5.1 surround sound, because I've got a surround sound, and animate or do something with the episodes that are missing, rather than, actually I don't know what, now there we are, there she is. Come along, Zarby, and he sort of plip-plops along like a little sort of like puppy or something, going in to have his tea. He's not in the least bit frightening at all, I think. But the lovely, really, I think that Lime Grove is a really nice big set, and probably on film as well, not on this early video, which always makes a difference. I think there's one with Tom Baker and Leela where they had to film it in a jungle. I don't know if it's Lime Grove or one of the old studios that they didn't use the BBC Centre for, and the difference, honestly. And like in, what's it, the Jaggeroff one, and the guy was in Star Wars, all of the spaceship parts for that were filmed in 35mm and not 16, and you can see the difference. When it goes back to the normal shots, you're like, oh, the contrast, that's a problem as well, as contrast between video and film. It never marries up, does it? Well, the film always looks better than the video. I look forward to reading this later. Of course, I've only just got it. I haven't read it yet. You may be reading it before me if you're going to pause this and read it. Hopefully I'm doing this okay for someone that does want to read it. If I'm doing something wrong, let me know. This is probably the way I think best to let you read what there is. As I say, 4K resolution, should be able to get it fairly large to be able to read it. Probably better chance of reading it on the screen than me trying to read this booklet with my eyesight now. Wow, it's really nice, that one, isn't it? Like a mural you'd have on the wall. I wonder if someone would do that on the wall somewhere. You get all this graffiti everywhere. Wouldn't it be nice if we had stuff like that on walls sprayed up? I mean, there are some really nice graffiti artists, but I've seen a few nice ones in the car park in Blackpool, actually. Nice sort of Chinese or Japanese woman with a backdrop. Really nice. I took a photo of it. It was so nice. Hang on, I'm not scanning properly here. Here we go. Of course, I didn't even know when I was a child watching Blue Peter that Peter Purves had been a Doctor Who assistant until some years later. So I say they never really showed much. They did do Doctor Who on, there he is. I'm sure he was in the Carry On films or something like that. Just flatten that out in case you want to read that. There we go. Well, I'm looking forward to... I haven't played these for a while. I see the Chase is the one that sticks in my mind because it's just so ridiculous. High-speed Daleks like bombing across sets, and it's like a sort of it's like the end of a carnival and they're all trying to get back to their cars or something, but they haven't got out their outfits yet. They're all bombing around. Oh dear, I'll probably upset someone now. I love the Chase. It's not one I won't say one and won't say it's rubbish. It's great. But I see some of the sets in the Chase. Wow. Well, there we are. There's the new one. All ready to be watched. Wonder how many of you are going to take the plunge with this one. So I guess if you're a Doctor Who fan now, you might not necessarily go back to these early ones because it might seem very primitive and you think, oh, what's the fun in these? But the storylines, the acting is is what draws you in, and then you just got to make allowances. So like you have, well, you would even have make allowances with the 70s and the 80s Doctor Who as well, because you get, you know, sets wobbling, and you just got to let your mind expand and get into the story. And so I mean, even now, the some of the over CGI bits, it's all too much now sometimes. Well, I like that one. That's the nicest picture there. I love that. I like this sort of blue, nearly indigo here. Really nice. Well, there we are. Oh dear. Put that back in there. And I will be putting it, I've already cleared a space, so at the end of this I'll have to detach the camera. And I can't edit it out, as I say, I've got computer problems, so we'll do it all in one take, and we'll go and put it in its rightful place. But it'll be taken out quite quickly afterwards, because I'll probably watch one tonight. Right then, so let's have a look at the DVDs that it replaces, in no particular order. So there's the Time Meddler. Yeah. I actually prefer the new ones with that blue tint and them all being nice and uniform now. So I wonder if that's different from what you've already got in the booklet there. Is that good enough like that? More than just going like this and scanning it all? Am I just boring you to tears with that? So I'll just do it like that, I think, for these. So the charity shops, believe it or not, won't take these. They don't want any DVDs. I thought, wow, someone would be glad. If you put that in a basket for a £1 or 50p or something, I'll be really glad a few years back of picking them up. You know, I didn't have this. So I mean, you can still buy these on Amazon, by the way. You know, they're still sort of like £8 each or something. Perhaps no one's interested in DVDs anymore. Everyone streams, I guess. Well, not everyone, otherwise there wouldn't be this, would there? Yeah, you see, very plain DVD set here. Invasion of Earth. Let's just do it like that. Look at these pictures, the different pictures, aren't they? There's no one in that one, or he's dead, one or the other. Anyway. I've got a friend who will gladly have these now, so they won't be going to waste. I'd never throw them away. It just seems a shame that charity shops don't take stuff like this anymore. But there again, if they have trouble getting rid of them, I don't blame them. Well, it's not too bad a picture in that one. Planet of the Giants looks a bit like the Zarbi, but they're not. Right. Let's get this out. Of course, it's the extras as well. It's the behind the sofa, and they should be doing the early ones first, because obviously the people are very, very old now who are in these, and a lot of them aren't with us anymore. So surely it'd be best to do the oldest ones first, so at least you've got a chance of getting some of the original people on that sofa, or at least to talk through, or you know, an episode or something to do with the set before it's too late. Yes, it's quite a different sort of style, isn't it, with the DVDs? Mind you, I guess these are getting on a bit now, aren't they? Does anyone buy DVDs anymore? Yeah, the Web Planet. The one I had the book of as a child, but never actually saw until I bought this. You know, which was only what was it, 15 years ago or something. We had to wait until then to see this, after having the annual handed to me, well, when I was about 3 or 4 years old. Never got a chance to see it. We're so lucky now. We're in the information age now. You can just find out things in a second. You haven't got to take a bus down to the library like I used to have to do if I had to find something out for homework or something like that. You can just look it up on your phone. Definitely better now. I just wish that I'd have had something like YouTube. Well, I wish we had the internet when I was growing up. Imagine the amount of music I could have got into. Because I could only afford to buy a few singles with my paper round money. Oh yeah, so the last two here are box sets. The Space Museum and The Chase. In nice, reflective, silvered. You see, if you compare the picture of him there to there, quite different, aren't they? Still know it's him though, don't you? Here it is, The Chase. Oh, quite nice, they're alright. Nice when he makes some effort, isn't it? 2 disc as well. So hopefully all the extras that were on these are on them. They usually are. The only one I've ever seen missing is the Jimmy Savile one, which was on 1 disc. That was the 2 Doctors. But they still got the sort of Jim Will Fix It episode with this chap who played the Doctor, and they had the set and everything, and this chap playing the Doctor. They just cut all the bits of Jimmy Savile in out of it. But the beginning of it is actually truly terrifying now, because it's and this sort of Jimmy Savile face appear in outer space is now probably one of the biggest monsters Doctor Who ever had to face, hiding in plain sight. Anyway, I keep going off onto other episodes, don't I? Yeah, it's this one that sticks in the memory though. There's a few pictures there. I guess I'm doing this because this will be the last time I'll have these DVDs, so it's like a bit of archiving. It'd probably be like 100 years' time, these would be priceless, won't they, you know? And there'd be a few left in the world where no one valued them. But I like to move on. If I'm replacing them, I don't see the point in keeping both. I mean, there will be some people, of course, they'll have a DVD sort of collection and separate, they'll have all these on another shelf. But I've got a bit limited space with my Doctor Who exhibition, so it's nice to move some out and move stuff around. Like I say, as long as all the stuff's still on these new ones that was on these. But I can totally understand collectors wanting to keep both. I mean, I do with first day covers of stamps and things. I get, you know, there's like 2 different stamps on the stamps you can get. I normally go for both, even though it's really the same first day cover. Nice tint on that as well, by the way. Sort of a slight tint there. Quite like that as well. Space Museum and The Chase. There we go. Last one. Then we will go and put the new one in its rightful place. Nice artwork. And wasn't she a policewoman or something from the future, or was it an investigator, something like that? She wasn't in that movie, was she? A few sort of over the next few years, when we got rid of the first 2 companions, we had quite a few sort of coming and goings, didn't we, over the years? Of course, Rory ended up being a Roman, didn't he, as well? And guarding a box for all that time. quite nice, the colour theming here. See, some are better than others, aren't they? Or one you just got a silver disc, and others you've got these nice pictures. That's quite nice, isn't it? Got all the mosaic in the background as well. It's a nice one. And another tinted photos there. Yeah, the rest goes. See, when you do a still of this monster, doesn't it look fantastic? Really nice. Probably the best costume in this series, in this season. Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah, it's the same sort of artwork again. That's nice. Well, there we are. I just did a look, more than anything, of the actual artwork and discs and what you get as compared to what you used to get. So what would you prefer? Would you prefer the DVDs like that, or would you prefer it in the box like that on Blu-ray? As I say, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be any better being on Blu-ray. These might already be as good as they're going to be. In fact, upscaling these compared to these probably already upscaled, maybe your system might do a better job of upscaling these than this, who knows? Anyway, we say goodbye to the DVDs, off they go to a friend soon. Wrap them up for Christmas. Right then, let's go and put this in its rightful place. So bear with me, I can't edit today, so I've just got to unscrew the camera and do it like this. Right then, let's zoom out as well. Oops, I'm tripping over the, that's what I use, tripod over the desk. Right then, come on William, let's go. Now, out here is the Doctor Who, the permanent Doctor Who exhibition in my house. Also have a Ganesh. One of my favourites there, the Master and the Autons. So we've still got one Colin Baker to finish that one off. We've also got one Sylvester McCoy to finish that lot off. I've gone right the way up to Peter. I bought the Peter Capaldi ones now. I'm not buying the Dr. Woke ones. I mean, there are some good episodes. Flux was a bit better actually, but I'm not buying any of them. Right then. And of course, there's my little speaker in the corner there. Just about to see it. And on the side of the Cyberman, that's my little unit with all the sounds on it. And it's worked by a PIR when you go by, which is there. Bit of Davros as well. It will do as I order. Yes. To have in my hand, I would do it. Right then, so I've moved things. I put the few Tom Bakers now down there. Key to Time would be a good one to get out of the way, wouldn't it? Probably my most favourite season, actually, of Tom Baker. Love Key to Time. I like it where they join things together, you know, they've got running themes for each one. I do like it like that. Oh, I hope I don't get a copyright strike for this music and won't be able to make my usual 4 or 5 pence on the in 2 years. Anyway, here he goes into his space. I put new blue LEDs in as well because the other ones were starting to go a bit. So, yeah. Oh, the Master's theme. Right, there he goes. It's really nice to have him there, isn't it? And of course we've got some Peter Cushings there on the side. I didn't go for the new 4K ones, because I've already got them on Blu-ray. So. And in fact those Daleks ended up in some of the BBC episodes, they took the bottom skirt off and they used them. They got them in the end, didn't they, some of them? Reminds me of the Sea Devils, that music. There's a Sea Devil, there he is. Proper one, not when they tried to make them into sort of Japanese fighters or the horrible CGI ones. That bit where he jumps onto the ship is just ridiculous. They were truly scary. That one where they're in that sort of fortress out at sea, that was really creepy, and the most avant-garde music that really influenced me as a child, that did. Well, there we are. Thank you very much for watching. Hope I didn't bore you too much. I say it's just a look at the disc, really. Thanks very much. See you again soon when I get my computer fixed. I might have to buy a new graphics card. Oh, Merry Christmas. Bye for now.